Hey everyone, Kyle here. I meant to upload a video on Friday, and apologies about that. I just seemed to have too many other things that came up and I did not get around to it. Didn't really miss out on a whole lot though. Friday market action was not anything spectacular. It was actually pretty calm. I don't know if that was just because everybody was already beat from trading throughout the week or what, but there was no economic news going on Friday, so that was probably a large contributor to just how calm it was. There wasn't any justification for serious volatility. No new big announcements from companies or whatnot. So it's a new fresh week though. It's Monday. We're starting it off well, and markets today kind of bucked up and down multiple times, and we'll go over that here shortly. So I wanted to talk about just a few other things though. I think I'm still kind of undergoing some channel change ideas, and I'm open to suggestions. I enjoy the news format, but I think I want to be a little bit more, not quite educational focused, but I want to provide a little bit more of a blend. So yeah, considering changing my channel name, I'm thinking about maybe not Kyle's Finance News. I'm thinking about Finance Bro Kyle, and not sure, maybe y'all have some thoughts on that. I just want to take a much more relaxed, chill approach to this whole YouTube thing and just keep it fun, right? Not have to make it so serious, and maybe not be so committed to having to do daily uploads. And I know it's really all just kind of ultimately whatever I decide to do on my end. It's not like anybody's forcing me to do daily uploads or anything, but when it comes to market news, there is stuff every day nearly to be reporting on, and so with that, there's almost always something to be talking about. So yeah, I think I might have to change the category for this one from news and politics to maybe just discussion, I suppose, or education. I don't know. The YouTube categories in itself is a little bit tricky sometimes. They're not very specific. Anyways, back to markets. I'm waiting until Wednesday before I really am looking to make a significant trade for this week, or make a determination of where maybe the following week and a half or so we're going to play out towards. So Wednesday is when we're getting inflation data, and as well as we should be getting our weekly employment type numbers here pretty soon, Wednesday, Thursday as well. So Wednesday is going to be a big day. And then we also have some housing construction related economic data coming out later this week. So even though today we had some decent little movement, I still think market participants going back to Thursday are kind of waiting until, we're waiting through the Friday, Monday, Tuesday until we can have some more data coming out on Wednesday, and then we can make trading decisions based on that. Because as you can tell, if you've been watching indexes and markets very recently, everything is very much focused and keeping the Fed kind of center stage right now. So we're all focused on when interest rates are going to be lowered, what are they going to be lowered to, how's it going to affect the economy, or, is unemployment going to keep going up, are mortgage rates going to keep going, like everything is just kind of on a little bit of an adjustment phase at the moment, or a pivot moment, if you will. And market participants, I believe, are just wanting to make sure that they're going to be trading in the right direction, especially if they're swing trading. While there is always opportunities to be made kind of intraday, I think the larger crowd is wanting to wait for some pretty solid direction, because at least as it stands from down here, it certainly does look like we may be turning back downward here soon, but that may also not be the case. This could just be one of those large dips, like I think it is personally, and we could be rallying right back towards all-time highs here pretty soon. Enough chatter though, let's go over some charts. So we have the US 500, the S&P 500 here. And I want to zoom out just a little bit and look at the last kind of month and a half or so here. And where we're kind of coming back up to, what we're approaching is a little bit of some overhead resistance zone here that is going to need broken through with some pretty strong momentum. Now, we have been kind of working up to it over the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so, with some pretty strong buying, some pretty good volatility. But it's going to take a decent little significant economic event coming up here to break through that. Now that might be inflation, in which case we have another day and a half or so of waiting until we get to that point to determine if that's going to be what takes us either up through there, and then we can look at what's coming up next after that, or if it's going to reject us back down, right? So we're either going to be looking for a strong move upward that will identify this higher resistance zone over here, and then we can fight with that. That was a horrible line. We can identify that and fight with that, or we're going to be moving back downwards, in which case we got to be looking for potentially breaking new lows, and then the risks and the problems that come with that. So obviously once we go back below that level, then we're in a little bit of a pinch. So I think it's a pretty big zone, pretty wide trading area. If we look at those price ranges, we can see we're looking at about 3% in each direction, about 4.5%, 4% plus to the downward. So yeah, I think the CPI, the inflation numbers will be the next kind of impactful event. Retail sales, I don't think are going to do it. Building permits, I don't think are going to do it. So hanging tight until Wednesday is the strategy here, and that information, that data also comes out before market open. So be looking for a pretty strong move pre-market, and then additionally that could reverse once market opens for the New York session. But I think in this scenario it might be more likely that it's going to continue whatever momentum that kicks off. So if it has a big jump upward, then we may just continue to run on upward, and if it has a big drop, then we may continue to slide throughout the session on Wednesday, even into Thursday and Friday, regardless of what data ends up coming out then. So then we have QQQ is also the same type of thing. Tech has been getting hit pretty hard, and we can see the resistance that it's dealing with here. So again, we've got some lows that were established previously, and now that's kind of a contention zone for getting back above or staying below. And if we end up back below it, then we're looking at possibly another pretty significant drop here, which would bring us back down to the lows over on that side. The lows from April of 2024. Looking over at VT, Vanguard's Total World Stock Index is another good one I like to keep an eye on. Now, naturally, being that the United States markets are one of the largest on the face of the planet, if not the largest, it's going to largely look like the S&P 500 most of the time. But there is some effect in there from the Nikkei and other countries' indexes as well. So we can see the severe drop that was experienced when the Nikkei kind of fell through their floor and had their big negative 30% day or whatnot, or negative 20% day. And along with the US markets, now we're bouncing all pretty good, but it's still to be determined whether or not we kind of ricochet here back towards upwards, or are just going to spill back over and have an even stronger low. So that's what indexes are doing. And I also want to show Carvana one more time. And Carvana is holding above that 200 weekly moving average. That's that white line that is being displayed there. And I'm showing you on a bigger time frame just specifically what I'm looking for. So even though for the last, the last year and a half, it's been moving on upwards pretty good. How did you know at $3.94 after going from 375 all the way down to $3.30? How would you know that was the bottom? I think if you would have asked me, I would have told you this company is going for bankruptcy. There's no doubt about it. But they turned something around, and they have managed to get all the way back up to $134 a share. They're back above that 200 weekly moving average. I mean, such good, strong momentum is being shown here over the last year and a half. I'd love to have bought into them earlier, but I think my rules, at least with the 200 weekly moving average rule, which is one of my simpler trading plans, it would not have let me do that. That would have violated my trading plans there. So now that it's back above it though, now we can discuss opportunity to take a trade from here on out. And even though it has dipped back below it here a couple times with some of this more violent, volatile market action, it is still holding above it decently well. So I'm looking for it to kind of establish a control zone here and then potentially keep moving upward, or at least that's the plan. So I have shared with you all that I entered into this trade. I don't intend to be sharing all my trades. Some of my trades are a little bit more experimental than others, and you know, they're tied into different accounts and whatnot. But anything that I talk about on the platform, I do at least want to start to build maybe a track record, and then you all can use that to either determine if I don't know what I'm doing and you shouldn't follow my trading advice, which I'm not telling you to at all in the first place anyways, right? You all need to be making your own trading decisions, but hopefully I can maybe at least show some different strategies that have worked for me if the market will allow me to prove them to be correct, as they have worked pretty well for me in the past. So with that, I also want to talk about another website that I came across just today, and I found it super cool, super fascinating, and that is thetagang.com, thetagang.com, and I'm going to put a link to my profile in there down in the description below. And it's just a website where I can enter in my trade information, and I cannot edit my trades after I have committed them. At least I think I can edit them for a few minutes at least to be able to change maybe an error that I might have put into it. But I can't go back and historically edit these trades once they're logged. I can't delete them from my account either. So once they're committed, they're committed. And I want to be able to have this. This is perfect. I think this is a great product, and even better that it's free. I don't have to pay anything to use it. I got to talk with the creator a little bit today in his Twitch live stream, and seems like a really cool, down-to-earth guy, and has lots of trading experience himself. So he made this website, and it's just fantastic so far. Still a little bit rough. I think it's in the works, definitely, for sure. But I want to be able to have this so that y'all have a record of my trading history that I can't be editing or deleting or hiding, or it is what it is. So I put the 2 Carvana orders that I've made so far last week in there. I put in how many shares I bought. I bought 3 shares each round. I bought one round at 133.37 and another at 134.00, which puts my average around 133.68, I think is what my spreadsheets showed it to come out at. So if you'd like to keep track of it there, you can. If you're a trader yourself, go ahead and make an account and check out the leaderboards and just the different little functions. And I think once I actually get some trades in here and some data, then it'll start to graph it and give me a whole bunch of data and win and losses and all that good stuff. The best part is it does options. So super cool to have a platform where you can manually enter in all your options trades and keep track of that stuff as well. So yeah, just wanted to share that little tool, if you will, a free tool that you guys can use, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. So I will keep that tagged or linked in my descriptions below going forward, and it'll always be there so my trading history can be reflected on. And again, this is not trading advice. I'm not getting in and out of positions for anybody to copy me. That's not the intention. It is just to be able to hopefully continue to validate not only some of my trading strategies, but also provide maybe some education for my viewers if they're looking into trading strategies and what works and doesn't work. And yeah, just putting money where my mouth is and showing you all that I'm not trying to be deceptive, or like I'm not advertising for Carvana. I'm not being sponsored by, yeah, there's like none of that going on. So anyways, maybe I'm just rambling on at this point, but that's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. More content coming very soon. Thank you so much. Your support means everything, and I will see you soon.